Summer, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules, and this is a summer thriller reading vlog. So the theme of this vlog is to read thrillers with the word summer in the title. So I have 3 books that I have selected for this vlog. One of them, I do not have the physical book. It's not available at my library. I don't want to buy it. I'm just going to do an ebook of it. That is Summer Rental by Rectock Ross. Then I have The Summer She Went Missing by Chelsea Icasso. And then I'm going to read Summer's Edge by Dana Mell, or Melly. I don't know how you say it. So the first one I'm going to be picking up is The Summer She Went Missing. I am reading this for Summerween. Paige Redmond has always felt lucky to spend her summers in Clearwater Ridge, sunning at the waterfalls and partying at the mansions of the rich vacationers there. The family of her best friend, Audrey Covington, has one of these homes. And last year, when Paige finally got close to Audrey's gorgeous brother, Dylan, she was sure it would be the best summer ever. Except Audrey didn't seem quite like herself. Then, one night, she didn't come home. Though Audrey wasn't the first girl to disappear in Clearwater Ridge, she left behind more lies than clues. Now, one summer later, her case has gone cold and nobody, least of all Paige, can make sense of what happened. When Paige stumbles across a secret hidden in Audrey's room, however, it changes everything she thought she knew about last summer. She and Dylan set out on their own investigation, discovering things even the police don't know about the people of Clearwater Ridge. But tracking down missing girls who might be beyond saving by now, means entering a world far darker than Paige has ever imagined. And if she isn't careful, she'll become the next girl to vanish. So I will be back when I have some thoughts on this. Hello. I feel like I always say that. Hello. I'm back with some updates on The Summer She Went Missing. So I am on page 140, so I'm not quite halfway through. This is not what I expected. It's not bad. It's just not, I don't consider this a thriller. Like, this looks like it's going to be a fun thriller. Like, the cover is stunning. That's what drew me in. However, it is not. So we're following Paige. Her and her family are invited to Audrey's family's mansion for the summer. It's like this big bougie place. So they go every summer. Paige has a crush on Audrey's older brother, Dylan. And Audrey knows that, and she kind of has teased her about it before. But this year, Paige has caught Dylan's eye, so they start talking. The year before, Audrey had like a summer romance with a boy, and so Paige had asked her if she was gonna see him again, and she's like, oh, I don't know. And I guess she had worked with him at this like boating place, and she's like, no, I don't think I'm gonna get a job at the boating place this year. So they go to this big party. Dylan's there. And so is the guy that Audrey had been talking to the year before. So then she goes off to talk to him, and Paige is like, I thought you weren't going to talk to him, or you won't talk to him. She's like, oh, we're just going to catch up real quick. She ends up going off with him, spending the whole time with him. Dylan finds Paige. They end up talking at this party, and it's like a big bougie party too, I guess. Like, there's an indoor pool, outdoor pool, all kinds of liquor, all kinds of shenanigans are happening. So her and Dylan are hanging out, and they kiss. They tell each other about their feelings. So then they're going to start hanging out. But they don't want their family to know that they're together, because then there would be rules. So we just follow along with them hanging out, and Audrey ends up saying that, oh no, I am going to get a job at the boathouse. And so she's like, okay, so you are going to work there, and you are back with this guy. And she's like, well, we're just hanging out. And so she spends a lot of time with him and at her job, and she's never home for dinners, and she's not hanging out with Paige or anybody else in the family for that matter. And Paige is just kind of like, what is going on? She like feels like her friend's pulling away from her. So on one hand, she's glad that she has more time to spend with Dylan, but then she's like missing the time with her friend. Audrey comes home like really late one night. She keeps getting back later and later, and I guess her parents just don't care that she's out like by herself like really late. I don't know. But next thing you know, she doesn't come home. So she's missing. And then we fast forward to present time. It's been a year later, and things did not progress between Dylan and Paige because of everything that happened with his sister. So Paige's family has been invited back to the mansion where Audrey's parents stayed, because that's where she was missing, and so that they could like do searches and in case she came home, and that's where they wanted to stay, where Dylan took his younger brother and they went back, and so he kind of just had to like take care of his younger brother. So just kind of a lot packed in that. So it's kind of awkward. They're not sure what to say to each other, but And honestly, it would be weird, like, going back, and especially, like, what do you say? There's not, like, anything good that you can say in that situation. So, Paige ends up going into Audrey's room, just kind of like reminisce, because that's where she used to stay when she would, you know, be over, and that's not where she's staying now. She's like in another guest room. And so she's in there. She has all these feelings, is crying, and just looking around, and then she finds something. And they're just like, what is this? What should we do with it? And so instead of telling their parents or the police about it, they decide that they're just going to start doing some investigating on their own, because they feel like the police have just kind of dropped the ball and aren't really looking anymore, because there was another girl that went missing previous to Audrey missing, and the police just kind of stopped and determined that that girl had just run away. So they don't feel like they're looking very hard. So basically Dylan and Paige are now talking to all, like, the townies is what they call them, like the people that are there all the time, and asking them, you know, who she may have been hanging out with, because they found out that Audrey, the things Audrey said she was doing was not what she was really doing. So she had been lying to, like, everybody that whole summer. So that's just kind of where we're at. That's all I know right now. Like I said, there's no, it seems very cozy, mystery-ish, not thriller-ish. Like YA cozy mystery with no body. I'm vlogging this week for Summerween, and so this is one of the books I'm reading for Summerween. And so I'm doing an update there, and then I was like, oh, did I update my actual summer thriller vlog? And so, like, I have all these vlogs going, and I'm having a hard time keeping my footage together. So I'll be back when I have my final thoughts on this and my ratings. I am back for an update on this. I finished this actually a couple days ago, and I forgot to come back and update this vlog. Like, seriously, what am I doing? I have entirely too many vlogs going on at one time. I have discovered something new that I will not do in the future. I was trying to kill two birds with one stone. So I had a summer thriller reading vlog planned, but then Summerween happened. I was like, oh, some of those books for the thriller vlog will work for Summerween, so I'll just read those and then I will knock that all out. Well, that would have been great if I didn't decide to vlog for Summerween. So I'm literally vlogging Summerween and doing a separate thriller vlog, and the same books are in it. So 2 of the 3 books that I'm reading for my summer thriller vlog, I ended up reading for Summerween. Not that I picked them to read for Summerween, only one of them was supposed to be for that, but I've gone through my books so fast that I'm like, oh, it's still Summerween, I'm vlogging for this. So now some of these are duplicates, and I'm getting confused on which vlogs I've updated and trying to keep all my stuff together. So I'm like, I don't want to scrap my summer thriller reading vlog, because there's another book that I'm reading for that. And then I did read a different one for Summerween. Y'all, this is hard. Anyway, just know that if you are watching this vlog and you have also watched my Summerween vlog, then you are probably going to hear some of the same things. Just skip through those books that you've already heard me talk about. So I finished this a couple days ago. I ended up settling on 3 stars for this. The last 70 to 75 pages of this is what I wanted in this whole book. Like, this book was like pretty just chill mystery vibe until the last bit of the book. So, and obviously I can't tell you much about it other than they just kept interviewing people and putting all the puzzle pieces together to come up to find out what happened to Audrey, which they do figure that out. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, so a little disappointed in this thriller. Moving on. So I finished that one, and then I picked up another book that I was reading for Summerween. So that's in my Summerween vlog. So that is a different book. But then this one, Summerween is over tomorrow. So this is the last book. I started this one tonight after I finished that other book, and this is going to be my last book for Summerween, and then I will have one other book that I'm reading for this vlog. So let me just tell you what this is about. says Emily Joyner was inseparable from the others. A sister, a best friend, a lover, and a rival. Summers at the lake house with Emily were unthinkable, until the fire burned the lake house to ashes with Emily inside. A year later, it's in Emily's honor that Chelsea and her 4 friends decide to return. The house awaits them, meticulously rebuilt. Only Chelsea is haunted by ghostly visions. Golden Boy Chase plays peacemaker when loner Ryan stirs up old hurts, which has perfect hostess Kennedy on edge as eerie events lead to stunning accusations. Emily's death wasn't an accident, and the person responsible is hidden within the clues of the lake house. As old betrayals rise to the surface, Chelsea and her friends have one night to unravel a mystery spanning 3 summers before a killer among them exacts their revenge. That is, if they can survive long enough to find out. So this is seeming to be a ghost revenge book. So we shall see. I think a few people have liked this. Liv's reading this right now for Summerween. Somebody else might be reading it, and Kendall is wanting me to tell her all about how I like it. So I'm hoping I like it. I'm on Sprints with Liv right now, and I've already read 44 pages. So Kennedy's parents are the one that own this lake house, and they've all received some postcard, and they've all shown up a year later. This, like it said, is all rebuilt after the fire. So apparently Kennedy and Chelsea, so we're following along mostly Chelsea's point of view is where we're at. We're following her, and her and Kennedy had a thing apparently, but then that just like stopped. So Chelsea has spent some time after this fire in a mental institution, and then Ryan is Emily's brother. So his twin sister was Emily, who's the one who died in the fire, and then we have a couple other people. So they all kind of got this random postcard invitation thing. That's seeming very Pretty Little Liars vibe right there. And so somebody's a puppet pulling strings. We don't know who. So I don't know much so far, except they have all returned to the lake house. It sounds like everyone's going to accuse everybody of stuff, and suspicions are going to be high. But I will come back when I have some more thoughts on this for you. Hello. So it's been like a week since I finished Summer's Edge. And remember me saying how I was having a hard time keeping track of my footage? Yeah, I apparently only did one update for Summer's Edge, and I don't know if it was for this vlog or for my Summerween vlog, but I ended up using it for my Summerween vlog. And then I have posted that vlog, and I've deleted that footage, and so yeah. Quick recap on Summer's Edge. Where I had left off was they had all come to the lake, and it was kind of awkward. So Chelsea and Ryan are on the same page that they think they are like hearing Emily, or like hearing voices and seeing things that shouldn't be there. They're finding things around the lake house. And then Kennedy and the other few that are there are just like, no, you guys are just making stuff up. You're trying to scare us. And weird things are happening. Chelsea's waking up in odd places, and she's like doesn't have a memory of what happened that night that the fire happened when her friend Emily died. And everyone seems very suspicious about like what happened. They're not really telling her what happened. So we're just kind of following her along as they're at this lake house, and everyone's just suspecting everybody of everything and blaming people for things, and they're starting to like nitpick at each other because they think they're hiding things. And yeah, anyway, there was a big reveal at the end, a big twisty reveal that I didn't see coming. Anyway, I had a really good time with it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. It was rating like a 4-star pretty much the whole time, but ultimately with the ending, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give this 5 stars. So I do have one book left to read for this vlog, which is Summer Rental. I'm probably not gonna pick that up until next week, because this week I've got like 4 books I'm reading right now at the moment. I will be back when I start that book and when I have thoughts on it. Hello! I have had this vlog open forever. Like 3 months, I think. All summer. It's just been chilling, waiting for me to like read another book and update it. Anyway, I am finally here to read my final book for this vlog. So I am finally picking up Summer Rental by Rectock Ross. I do not have, I know you can't see this. This is what it looks like. I do not have the physical book, so doing it on audio. And I looked at it, and I listen to books at 2 times speed, so it's going to be like 4 hours. So it should be a quick read. So the synopsis says, Mean Girls meets Scream. Yes. In this heart-pounding psychological thriller about a group of friends stranded on an island with a serial killer on the loose, Riley March and her friends are headed to ritzy, remote Palm Key Island for one last blowout party weekend before college. It's the vacation of a lifetime. Beautiful beaches, epic nightlife, and hot guys like Riley's crush, superstar soccer player Sebastian Ramos. There's just one catch. Everyone on this trip is hiding something. Riley is hiding her past in order to fit in. Sebastian is hiding his feelings for Riley. And someone is hiding what really happened to Jordan Chang, a classmate that mysteriously died last summer. Things take a turn after one of their friends goes missing and a hurricane cuts the group off from civilization. Trapped inside their rental house, a killer stalks them one by one. No one is safe. Everyone's a suspect. As the body count rises, Riley and her friends will have to confront the secrets they've been keeping if they want to stay alive. This sounds so fun. I'm gonna start this today and hopefully get through it pretty quick. I will come back when I'm about at the midway mark and let you know how I'm doing with it and what my thoughts are. Hello. I'm back with an update on Summer Rental. So this isn't gonna be a stellar thriller read by any means. It's just an average thriller right now. Kind of one of those that like you really don't have to pay attention because like there's just a whole lot of chaos going on, so it's just kind of like nothing like deep, no deep issues that you really have to pay attention to. So we're following Riley and her friends, her rich friends. So you got a bunch of rich kids going on this summer vacation. It's around the 4th of July, and they all just, no parents, obviously. They're like all around 18. So a bunch of rich 18-year-olds heading off on this bougie vacation. So they get this big rental property. And so Riley is actually hiding a secret that she is not really rich. So I think her family used to be, but then something happened with her family. They lost all their money. And so she's not. Riley is only friends with this group of friends out of convenience to keep her mouth shut. So basically she saw something that a group of these girls did, and then another incident happened that they think is probably a result of what they did. And so basically she overheard some conversation she shouldn't have heard. And so they have befriended her. And now she is in the cool rich kids club. But they're really acting like she is their friend. But I don't know if she is like in this group because she's like afraid of like what they may do something to her, or if she legitimately wants to be part of this, you know, popular rich kid crowd. So they go on this vacation. There's a dynamic group of kids. There's a set of twins, and one of the twins is like this like unhinged party girl, like never know what she's gonna do. It is Mean Girls, like, so the girls are obviously like, oh, you can't wear that because I'm gonna wear this, like when they're getting ready to go out to a party. And it just very much have to do whatever they want. And so anyway, so it's just kind of following them. They're out, a lot of partying, a lot of, you know, just making not so great decisions. And one of the twins ends up going missing. The unhinged party girl twin ends up going missing. And they think, oh, this isn't the first time they've done this. So they've thought about putting in a missing persons, but then some of the other kids in the group are like, but she's done this before. So then they don't. And now this big, like, hurricane's getting ready to hit. And they're advising them to evacuate, and they're all like, no, we're not going to. So I guess the guys of the group were staying at a hotel, and the girls were staying in this big, like be it Airbnb, but it's like a big bougie place. So the guys have now, because the hotel is locking up for the season, it's shutting down, they had to go. So they're now at this rental property with them and staying with them. And the cops are going around suggesting that everybody leave. And they're like, we're not leaving. Yeah, it's not going to be that bad. So he's like, well, we can't force you to leave. If you're going to stay, you need to make sure you have enough food. You board up your windows, and telling them all the things they need to do. Their friend is still they don't know where she's at. And I don't know if it's, I think 2 friends might be, like a guy and a girl are missing. And I think they feel like they're together, but maybe they're not. But anyway, they're like, we're not leaving without our friends. We don't know where they're at, so we're staying here. So the group of guys goes and they like stock up on all the things they need, as much food, water, things that they can get. Because the cops are like, you need to be prepared to be stuck here for anywhere from a few days to a couple weeks, you know, before anybody comes back in to do any kind of like, you know, rescues or, you know, cleanup or anything. So that's kind of where we're at now. They're just stuck and the power's gone out. So anyway, it's not bad, but you know, like nothing fabulous or spectacular yet. Nobody's gotten killed yet. Speaking of killing, look at my little pen. Is it not the cutest? It's got a little knife charm. My daughter made this for me at my sister-in-law's boutique. So she has a bunch of pen kits and she puts different combinations of pens together to make little, or puts like all the different beads and stuff together and makes these little pins. She made me this one. I love it. And then she also made this little ghosty one. But obviously I love this one better because it's a killer pen. Anyway, I love it. So that's my update for now. I will come back when I have my final thoughts. Right now, it's reading at like a mid-3 range. And I did look at Goodreads. Star rating is 3.5, and that's probably pretty valid. So, that's probably where I'm going to lie. But anyway, I will be back and let you know. Okay, guys, I am back with my final thoughts and star rating for Summer Rental. So, the second half of the book was pretty good. I mean, obviously, just kind of the scary vibes of there being a storm outside and you're trapped inside of a house. You can't go anywhere. So you're in this house with all these people. And they break out the Ouija board. So then everybody starts freaking out over that. And then, you know, they all go to their separate areas to go to bed. And of course, you know, people start waking up in the middle of the night. Someone's not there. Where are they at? Like, there's only so many places they can go. A body's found. Things just take a turn for the worse. So then people start dying. You know, the synopsis says Mean Girls Scream vibes, which it definitely has that. So like the kind of first half of the book, you get that like Mean Girl aspect. And then, you know, once they're trapped in this rental house, you're getting the killer vibes. So yeah, so I did enjoy it. It was a pretty quick read. I had suspicions of who I thought the killer was, and it totally seems like reasonable that it was that person. But yeah, so I mean, it was overall pretty good. I am going to give it, originally I was like 3 stars, but then afterwards, there's an author interview, and she kind of talks about her love of horror movies and, you know, her like kind of classic, iconic horror movies that she likes, which is some of the same ones that I do. And then also talking about how she wanted to pull in that aspect of bullying because she was bullied in high school, and then her stepdaughters also had to deal with bullying. So just kind of to bring to light, obviously, you know, that it's not okay to bully and the outcomes that can stem from someone being bullied is kind of where it went. So I think that kind of brought my star rating up. So ultimately, I'm going to give it a 3.5 star. I don't know that it's good enough for a 4. I know I say I don't usually do half stars, but I mean, I do. So I wish that Goodreads had an option to do half stars, because I would love to do half stars, because there's definitely a difference between a 3-star book and a 4-star book, or 4 and a 5. You know what I mean? And so that's why usually in my comments, even if I'm not going to do like a review on Goodreads, I will just go in there and put, if I mark it as 3, I'll put in the comments 3.5 so that that's my rating. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So those are the books that I picked for this long vlog that I've had going on forever. So quick recap. The Summer She Went Missing, I gave that 3 stars. Summer's Edge, I gave that 5 stars. And then Summer Rental, I'm giving 3.5 stars. Overall, enjoyable books. I wasn't like super disappointed with any of them. So let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books. Summer's over. I would ask you for other summer thriller recommendations, but with as long as I had this vlog out, I'm ready to move on to fall. So if there are any that you want to recommend, I will put them on my list for next summer. So let me know in the comments if you have any good summer thriller recommendations. And until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind.